Right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move the table. I'm just going to pull it round by hand. We want the table forward. There we go. There we are. What we're going to do now is we're going to take the belts off. There you go. Take it off to the side as well. Let's do these one at a time. Let's do these rods one at a time. This is the one we're going to work on first, and this is the one for the, you can see the play in that. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a wrapping good fit. I'll bring you around here and you can have a look. Right, you can see the cover there for the mechanism for changing direction on the belts. But what I'm going to do, can you see my little finger there? I'm going to take that off because that's on the end of the rod. Once I've taken that off, get the cover off, we'll undo the screws and we can pull the rod through. That's Allen key. There you go. There we are. Right, there we are. Just leave that dangling on the belt. Put this away. We'll have to set this up afterwards. The screw's been in and out that many times, it's a bit worn out. I think we need a new one. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. There's the mechanism. And to get the rod out, we take these two screws out here. So what we can do, to give us a good idea where we need to be, I'm going to make the rod the same length. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that in the screen there, but it's virtually flush with the outside here. I'm going to measure the distance here that it's sticking out. It'll give us a good idea, and perhaps I'll just try and gauge the distance from there to there, just so that we get it right. Well, we can see we've got 1, 2, 3. It's on the third one, isn't it? Now let's take that off. Well, let's measure it first, like we said. Oh, well, that over it's 4 inches. So there, 4 inches sticking out. We undo them two screws in, it should pull out. Should pull out. Whether it does or not is another story. These two screws, all they do is clamp the rod. That's all they do, they don't do anything else. Right, there we are. Ah, there you are, see it pulling out. We just leave that there. Here's the rod here. It's pretty worn. I mean, the bores could be worn as well. You've got to remember, 125-year-old machine. I thought this was rust. It's actually grease. It's ancient grease. It looks like some sort of lithium-based grease. That metal's 125 years old. So it was made before the first atomic bomb. So it's pretty old stuff. It'll be a nice warp constituency as well. That probably won't be like a modern steel, that won't. That'll probably machine very well, that will. Right. Need to get a good look at the mechanism there. What we're going to do, we're going to go over to the bench and we're going to get our steel rod, which we've got here. Can you see there? Look, here's our rods. And we're going to cut it off to length, and we're going to put a new rod in. Alright, we're going to cut the rod off. We'll do it in the hacksaw, in the power hacksaw. We'll cut it off the same length as the original. Seems to work okay. That's a little bit tight there. Let me just back that off a touch. There you go. If we need to, we just tighten that down. It helps to give us a better purchase. It's okay as it is. Right, let me just check that length. I pull this oil off. Okay. Right. There you go, that's good enough. Power on. Well, let me put the support underneath it. There we go. Looks like there'll be enough in that one bar for both rods. Anyway, there we are. Let's go to the lathe and just clean the ends up. Right, we're at the Myford lathe, as you can see. This is a self-centering 4-jaw chuck. It's brilliant for turning square bar. I was actually using it for, what was I making? I can't remember now. Well, I think I was doing the draw hook for the tender, made out of square bar. I was turning it down. But you can still grip around things and there's no problem at all. It's pretty accurate. It's a nice chuck. I don't use it very often at all. My favourite go-to chuck is the independent 4-jaw chucks, and I've got two of them. I've got my big one and my small one. The small one's about this size. The big one is a 6-inch diameter one. Right, where are we at? Put this in here. Don't want much sticking out. Don't want any bending or anything like that. I like to rotate it as I'm tightening it up. There's a nice spot, you'll feel a nice spot, and that's where you tighten it. Other people tighten all the things up, well, you know. Alright, see my rear tool post here. We'll do a little demonstration with that sometime, just show you the effectiveness of that. That's actually a 2.2mm wide throwaway tip tool. You know, this modern stuff that you get. It's superb, that is. Really is good. Anyway, let's face that off. We'll use this knife edge tool here. It's a while since I've used the lathe actually. Alright. Let me grab my glasses. Let me switch it on. There we are. Just alright. We don't need the DRO. It's just force of habit switching it on. Alright, let's start. We're in low range. Go into the higher range. There we go. Right, let's just stop this and let's just check. A bit of oil in there. These are all total loss systems, so you've got to keep checking them and put some of the oil in every now and then. Never let them run dry. Lubricate this too often here. It's got a grease nipple and oil nipple in this case. Holds the oil pretty well in that one. The others I always do. Alright, let's just run it for a second and then we'll start using it. It hasn't been used for a while. I want to make sure we've got oil going around everything. So I'm going to increase the speed a bit now because we're working with tungsten carbide against mild steel. Just a piece of mild steel rod. So we won't run a bit faster than what it is here. According to this would be, I think, in the range of about 450 RPM. I need to get a tachometer and check the calibration with these here to see how it relates to the potentiometer. I'm just speeding it up slightly now. I don't know if you can see down here, but I'm showing you. See, I don't know exactly how fast that is. That's on just about 3.5, that is on the potentiometer. And it can go all the way up to about 10. That'll be a phenomenal speed. You've got to be careful because your chuck's only rated for a certain speed. Never ever go past that. But I think that'll be okay for what we're looking at. As soon as that's cleaned off, that'll do. There you are, that's enough. And what we're going to do is we're going to chamfer it. And that's it. I'm not going to do anything more than that. It's quite good, that is. I have got the original rod has got a radius on the end, it's a nice radius. We could put one on because I have got a radius turning tool, but it's not needed on something like this. We're now going to a high speed steel tool, so I'm going to use the slower speed. Right, turn it round, do the other end. As far as the chucks, face plates and catch plates and things are concerned, as I said, the most used chuck on here is the independent 4-jaw chucks. You get greater gripping power with them, and you can true the work up better than what you ever could do on a self-centering chuck like this one, or my 3-jaw chuck. Even though they are pretty accurate, I think they're within about 1/1000, something like that, maybe 1.5, which is pretty good really. But with the independent 4-jaw chuck, because you can adjust each jaw independently, it means you can true the bar up or the work up pretty good. And because you haven't got the frictional loss of the scroll, which is in the scroll screw, I can't even speak now, a scroll chuck, you've got a lot of frictional losses, so you don't tighten the work as tight as what you will in an independent 4-jaw chuck. So an independent 4-jaw will always grip better. As far as the machine's concerned, it's your friend really, because it can do virtually anything. There are some things it can't do, but that's why you have all these other work holding devices like a collet chuck, face plate, catch plate, things of this nature. But anyway, I'm waffling on. Let's get this job done, get this rod in, and get the other one done then. I think that tip's due for changing out. It's done a lot of work, that has. I don't like to just throw them away for the sake of it, like to get as much out of them as possible. There you go. And that's it. That's all that's needed. Got nice cleaned up ends on the bar. Right. Alright, we've got our new rod now. There we are. You can see that there. And there's the old one. See, it's about the same length. Right. Let's put a bit of oil in there. Don't like assembling them dry. Bores are quite worn by the looks of it, but still, that's the way it is. Let's get some oil on that. There you go. So 4 inches. Right spot. Okay, let's tighten them up. There we go. Just check that. It's okay. Right. We can put that shifter on. Not because it was on the feed stroke. It was over here, wasn't it? That one's there. This one's there. Yep. Somewhere there. We'll have to get it operational to set these properly. See, let's go in reverse now and just shift it back the other way. Just going to tighten that up. I think that's far off. Say we'll set this once we get it running. Alright, let's just see what that's. We'll just take these off and we'll just move it backwards and forwards and let's just see what it does. We'll need to set them up with the machine operational, but if we get it operating by hand first, that's a good start. Right, let's get rid of the old rod. It needs to come across a touch. You can see the mechanism working as well there. Alright, that'll do for just the time being. Once we get this operational, like I say, we can alter this to suit. I'm just trying to get it something like at the moment. Right. Fasten it out. Still quite a bit of play in that. We know the rod's good now, but the bush or the bore in the casting's a little bit oversized. So what we're going to have to do is to undo them. I'm probably going to have to pull that rod out. Yeah, I think I'll have to take the table off for that. Okay, what I thought we would do is just run this now we've changed that first rod. We'll run this just to make sure it's okay, everything's alright, we haven't got a problem with it. And then we can go to the second one, because the second one we're going to have to take the table off, get it out of the way, because the mechanism's over the screw. But let's make sure we're okay with this first one. Right. It's got to move across a little bit more. You can see it's fighting the other pulley, so we'll just have to move it across. It's really important when you're setting these up that the position on the loose pulley is good. You don't want it still on the fixed pulley, or the fast pulley as we should call it. Make sure it's fully across, otherwise you're going to try and be driving both ways at the same time. That ain't good. We've moved that now. Let's go back round the other side, see what happens. There you go. Just watch that belt there and just see when it switches over, make sure it goes on that pulley there. There you are, you see it's running. All that belt is on the loose pulley now. That's really nice, isn't it, yeah? I'm happy with that. That'd be nice to see the planer working. I haven't seen it working for a few weeks now. That's nice. Right. I'll do next time it comes back to here, what I'll do is I'll drive it straight off the end. I'll lift that up and then I'll start it again. There you go. Drop that down again. Put it on jog. Just run it straight off the end. The table won't fall off. There you are, it's disengaged now. So, all I do is I'll move it forward. I need to get access to the mechanism here because this rod, it runs straight over the screw that we need to get to here. I'm going to bring you back around the back here where you were before because you can see better what's going on now. I'm just going to slide the table a little bit forward. I've got the workmate set up on the end so you can see what's going on. Let me just show you. Can you see I've just set the workmate up there. There are keeps underneath the table so it can't just fall off. There you go. It's not touching this table yet, but workmate's there just in case. Right. Right, I'm just going to move the belt switcher off this end here. Just take that off. There we go. We can take this off. So we've got to get in. There we are. That's the lever disconnected, and this just lifts straight out. There you go. Not going to change anything there. Right. Don't know if this rod will be the same length as the others, the other one. So we'll need to take it out to be sure. There you go. Let me grab something to pull that out with. There it is. Can you see that all right? A little bit cramped, but there you go. Right. This rod has got a lot of old grease on it. Might see some of that muck coming off when I pull it out then. Dry as anything it was. Probably original grease from 1900. Anyway, that's our rod. We'll just check the length of it and we'll do what we need to do. I cut it off, and when I've done that I'll put it in the lathe and do the same as before, and I'll show you what we're doing. Alright, I'm just putting this stuff away, tidying up a little bit, and we'll get the machine operational. Test. Always important to run a machine after you've made adjustments, change something, done a repair or whatever. That way you know that it's okay. Right, get the table back on. In fact, let's put a drop of oil. And plenty of oil on these ways here. Pretty good actually. I haven't oiled this since last time I used it, which is probably a good month or so back now. Right, just put that into a jog and get it. It's engaged now. Once we get it running at normal speed, we'll see how the belts are switching, and then we'll see if we need to make an adjustment. Just make a slight adjustment to this here. Switch it off. There's me marquees. Over here now. Yeah. Right. I'm going to try that. And let's just see what it's like. It's okay. Happy with that. When that comes fully forward next time, we'll stop it. Now put the cover back on the switching mechanism. There you go. Let's put the cover back on. That's working nice now, that is. Right, screwdriver. Put it back on. There you go. Right. Let it run a few times now. And that's ready. This next job, which will be the inner frames, inner frame rails for the tender. That's a beautiful machine, that is. I really like the planer. If you can imagine, virtually every single machine shop in the old days would have had a planer in it of some kind. Planers, shakers, swappers, lathes, drills, radial arm drills, milling machines, borers. It would have been quite impressive to have a look around some of the old machine shops. There we go, I'm happy with that. always make adjustments if we need to in the future. But that's running quite nice, that is. Right, there we are. It's ready for doing these frame rails. Right, tidy up now. And that's me done for today. Right, I'll see you later. Alright, there we are. We've completed our repairs to the metal planer. We've done the tool slide, and we've done the rods for the belt switching mechanism. Give it a good oiling, and we've made sure that everything's set up correctly on it. So now we can turn our attention to manufacturing those inner frame rails for the tender. But as far as this is concerned, it's complete. Alright, thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, apologies for the footage that I lost for the second rod. There was the batteries ran out on the camera, and I didn't realise at the time. And when I went to switch the camera off, it was already off, and I thought, well, what's happened here? And it turned out the batteries were flat, so I had to go get me new batteries out of the house. But anyway, nevertheless, we've still got the job done. That's the important thing. You saw what happened on the first rod. It's the same, exact same process on the second, although you've got to take the bed off. But that was nothing special. But we're done. Alright, thanks for watching. See you next time.